Órale, Cholo Trucker Más Movies and Shows, and that is it. Episode número nueve, number nine, the last one. Um, I'll be honest, man. Before I get to the episode, I was actually kind of dreading watching the final episode because I didn't want it to be over. I was having so much. I was enjoying this show. I was feeling really connected to this show so much. And I'm like, man, I really don't want to watch it. So I can still be in the process of watching it, I guess. But no, had to watch it at some point. So um basically episode nine, it for the most part, episode nine is about the second trial, which we don't get to see what played out in actual life because there was no cameras involved. So, um, a lot comes out. Obviously, I'm sorry, Lyle doesn't have his attorney, who never really got that popular. Everybody always focused on Leslie Abramson. Um, so, he couldn't take the stand because of the recordings. And he did a lot of, foolish things while he was in there, talking to his so-called finger quotes girlfriend who was recording a lot of the conversations, the letters that he wrote to people saying, hey, you gotta say that, my dad came onto you or he touched you or whatever. And, the book that was written, like, he didn't keep it quiet and it just didn't look good. So he was not, well, it was in the best interest that he doesn't take the stand because if he doesn't take the stand, they can't really bring that stuff out. If he takes the stand, then all that stuff is going to be exposed. And um, it was this episode kind of piggybacked, I guess, from the last, I don't know, two, three episodes or something, where it was kind of turning, it was kind of shifting. Something that I noticed is that, like, the first few episodes kind of made you feel a little bit for Lyle and Eric to a certain degree. And these last few episodes, especially this one, episode nine, made them seem like a-holes, especially Lyle. Especially Lyle. Like, oh man, I kind of want this little bastard to fry. He's acting like such a jackass, man. Right? Um, so I mean, this episode was like just a roller coaster ride of emotions, man. And it started with OJ Simpson being found not guilty. I mean, there's so much that happened around that time with, Rodney King and can't we all just get along and the riots and the OJ Simpson and the Menendez. There was so much going on. I remember that time. And yeah, it was said like, you know what, we need to convict these guys because, can this city really go through this? These guys being found not guilty, and it was definitely a different trial than the first. Um, in the first trial, well, at least on the show, I want to stick to the show. I don't want to. I want to say it again. I don't give a rat's ass what is true, what is not, right? Fact and fiction from what really happened. I just want to stick to the show. We can do that on another one. But at least for this one, um, when it portrayed the first trial, it basically just had Leslie Abramson up there, right? Kind of putting her evidence out there, kind of proving their side of the story, not their innocence because they weren't innocent, but proving their side of the story to be true. Where for this second trial in episode nine, it was the complete opposite. You never even saw Leslie Abramson get up there to talk to anybody at all. You just heard all the evidence um, from the other side. I forgot the guy's name, but it was definitely, and basically you just kind of felt like, wow, like this is going completely against them. It's almost kind of making me feel different about them as well. I kind of want them to hang for this. That's that's how much it was coming off in episode 9, all the evidence that was going against them. And not only that, but the way they were being portrayed, especially Lyle. Man, I think that's like the third time I said that already. But you kind of root for Eric a little bit to a certain degree, but nonetheless, man, it what a roller coaster of a ride of an episode. And it is the return of Jose and Kitty Menendez. You do see them at least for a brief moment in this episode. I don't remember what's the last episode I saw them in. It was probably like episode shoot 6. I don't even remember, right? Yeah, I definitely didn't see them in episode 5. But you do see them towards the end. Now, there's a heartbreaking moment that is completely like interrupted for me because when I was seeing them, they're found guilty and they're sentenced to life. Hey, by the way, you know what? One thing that I shouldn't comb over was that old red-headed chick. She's a juror that would not take life without the possibility of parole. For her, she wanted to make sure that they died. Like it was so personal to her. She was getting on my nerves. She really was. I was like, good gosh, like, you know what? Can somebody just like crack her one, like right across the jaw? Well, if something worse happened, I don't know if she died or not, but I guess she suffered a heart attack, and I'm not sure. I don't remember if they said that she died or not. Maybe it just went over my head, but I was just like, good gosh, she was really like bothering me. Like, shut the flying flip up. Like, stop, shut up. Like, she was so damn passionate about seeing these two guys just die, right? So they had to replace her with a stand-in. And the guy was a little bit more calm, cool, collective, and basically he gave his side, his point of view, basically saying like, "Hey, listen, if any of it is true, then we can't just put them to death." And I mean, there was more to it, but I'll leave that part alone. Um, so they're sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, and the way they did it for this episode, man, or this show, differently from other shows, um, and movies. They had them. They already were in different cells, so they weren't next to each other in the LA County Jail. So they start bumping Milli Vanilli. That's one thing I do not want people to ignore. The super duper, you know, 80s music that's in this show is kick ass, Holmes. Just makes me reminisce of when I was a kid. But nonetheless, as they're walking out, they're not walking together, and they're put in different different vans, different vehicles. Um, Eric was told he was going to Folsom, so he just kind of thought that Lyle was going to follow suit. And well, what was very like heart wrenching. First of all, Milli Vanilli playing in the background, I thought was when when Milli Vanilli first started playing in the background, I thought it was silly. I'm like, why are you choosing this song? Okay, I mean, I get it. I kind of get why they're choosing it, but I was just like, come on, man, this is not gonna get me in the moment. Okay, this is the heartbreaking moment when they go their separate ways. But let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you guys something. It actually worked. it worked. Like when the song first started, I was like, this is kind of dumb. This is kind of ridiculous. But as they started walking out there, and as Eric looked back and he saw Lyle coming out, like the music, I don't know, it did connect with it connected. It connected. That's it. My whole thoughts about like this is a stupid song to be playing at this moment. It wasn't there anymore. It actually went with it. It connected. They put Lyle in a different vehicle. They're cruising down the street together. And then at an intersection, they both go the complete opposite way. One of them turns left, the other one turns right. Eric's like, hey, what's going on? Um, you said we were going to Folsom, and then the officer said, yeah, you are going to Folsom. He's going somewhere else. And that was that, man. Um, and like I said, that was I thought, in my opinion, that would have been a great moment to just end the show. But there was about an extra 3 minutes or so that goes to showing Jose and Kitty, which I didn't mind. Now that I think of it, it's actually kind of it's kind of different because it takes you back to the boat ride when they're out there, shark fishing for sharks. And I thought that was an important scene. I just I I'm just I'm not sure how to feel about it right now when it comes to which way it should have ended. Should it just ended with the Vans just going separate ways and seeing both of their faces like teared in the eyes, like, damn, we're not going to see each other ever again? Or that boat scene, which again, I don't have a problem with the boat scene at the very, very end. I thought it was somewhat important to show Jose and Kitty Menendez again because you kind of forget about them because they're not in so many other episodes. Like I said, they probably haven't been in like the last 4 episodes. So to show them again, I thought was important. It just kind of interrupted me emotionally as I was connected to Eric and Lyle being separated while Millie Vanilli was bumping in the background. But nonetheless, great show. Great show. And I'm not done with the show. I definitely want to talk a little bit about it when it comes to fact and fiction or anything. Just the show with its entirety. And maybe I'll go ahead and do a live for that. I'm not sure, but as it stands right now, I'm done with the show, and I'll come back and talk about it at some point because there is new evidence out there. There is a couple of things that have been said about the show from Eric, and there's a whole new movement behind the whole thing. So for this, I just wanted to keep it with the show. I did not want to insert anything of fact and fiction, what really happened. But now that it's over, maybe we can do that a little bit. But as for the show itself, I think it did a great job. Great job. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you guys this: the best that I have ever seen when it comes to this story. I'm including movies. I'm including that other show that I think it was True Crime, the Menendez brothers or something like that. That one was really good. I really enjoyed that one. But this one, maybe just because it was more raw and more just the way they talked to each other was a little bit more realistic. I'm not even really sure, but I thought this was the best one yet. You guys let me know. What is your thoughts on monsters? I'm not talking about what is real, what is not real. I'm just talking about the entertainment aspect and did it make you feel something um outside of reality of what really went on. Okay, so that's what I'm just sticking to the show. like I said, we'll do that one on another one, but or we'll talk about that on another one. But what was your guys' thoughts on Monsters, the Lau and Eric Menendez story? It's heartbreaking that it's done, that it's over. The show's over for me. So damn it, really enjoyed it. Um, I really enjoyed watching it. Great, great show. Cholo Trucker, Moss Movies and Shows. Catch you guys on the next one.